afternoon, and thank you for visiting the North American Bear Center. My name is Ellen. I am one of the 6 summer interns here, and I'm going to be doing the broadcast today. So it is 12:30, which means it is enrichment time. We will be putting out enrichment activities, but first we need to get a bear up here. So we do have some interns out back that are trying to wrangle Tasha. She has not been very cooperative lately, so we will see whether or not we get her up here. So Tasha is our 4-year-old female. She is our youngest female, but she is not our smallest. She's about 20 pounds heavier than Holly, who is our 6-year-old female. Although Holly is smaller than Tasha, Holly is our dominant bear. So Tasha is one of our more fun bears. We like to say that she kind of acts like a 2-year-old cub. So Tasha is known for sitting in her water bowl that she has cracked despite it being bear-proof. She likes to sit in there and use it like a rocking chair. She'll usually bring things in there with her, like a toy or something, to toss up in the air while she sits there. It's pretty cute. Hopefully we get to see some of her antics if she comes up front. But we will see. She is a little less interested in food than normal because she is in estrus right now. So estrus, females enter that during mating season, which for black bears is June. Tasha entered it about 3-ish weeks ago, so she's kind of trying to come out of it right now, we hope. But we will see. Tasha is less interested in food because during mating season, bears' #1 goal is to find a mate. They're not trying to forage for food, they're just trying to find a partner. So Tasha normally responds to our food encouragements really well. Lately, she has been less inclined to come after us and get some of those yogurt raisins we have to offer, and more interested in kind of pacing and looking towards the outside fence because she knows there are adult male black bears out there. That would be very interested in her should we allow them to mate. However, we do not. We are not a breeding facility. So while we wait for Tasha, we have had several questions posted online, questions for the interns. So I've got a list here. I'll just pick a couple. So this is just kind of questions about being an intern at the North American Bear Center. And the first question, what is it like to be an intern? So being an intern here at the North American Bear Center is a huge learning experience. So everyone that I work with, that main goal is to either learn or to help us learn. So the intern position here is a bear educator. So my job is to help educate other people about bears. But in order to do that, I need to know these things myself. So JT and Sharon are incredibly helpful anytime I'm unsure about something. They always answer all of my questions, so I've been learning so much here. Everyone here is just trying to learn together. We observe behavior and try to understand what they're doing. And we also will read papers about wild bears that have been observed, so we can answer any questions that visitors have. If we ever get stumped, I'll usually bring the question to Sharon or JT, and if they're stumped, they'll go do research on their own, although that's a rare occurrence because we usually know what's going on, and we get a lot of questions, kind of the same ones every day, so we can usually give pretty confident answers. So another question I have, how safe do I feel inside the enclosure? So I would never be in the big enclosure completely exposed to our bears. I'm usually in this kind of little pathway we have down there. It's lined with some electric fencing. It looks a little flimsy, but our bears do not care for that electric fence. So I always feel perfectly safe. Bears aren't really aggressive, so I know even if I was, for some reason, ever in the enclosure with the bears, I probably would not be in any danger, but, you know, we don't want to risk it, so I do go behind that electric fence area. Even a big guy like Lucky wouldn't try to cross that fence. That shock isn't very fun. But I also know the bears, and they know me. So our girls are a little more unpredictable. I would obviously feel totally fine with Ted because he's kind of a big softie. So Ted is our captive-born, captive-raised male. He's been with people his whole life. So he actually enjoys people's company compared to our wild bears that are more interested in food. So I would never feel unsafe near Ted. The only time I would feel unsafe is if maybe I had food all over my face or something, because then I would know I'd be getting a licking, literally. Ted does give kisses. If I drop a treat or something and bend down to pick it up, he usually sneaks in and licks my forehead and surprises me. If I was in here with Lucky, Lucky is pretty timid and also just a very gentle bear, despite him being so large and muscular. He's also kind of more predictable than our girls, so I would kind of understand what he's feeling. It's the girls that I definitely wouldn't want to get in the enclosure with, especially Holly, who is our boss bear here. So I never want to do anything to offend Holly, but sometimes you don't have to do anything to get her upset. So I wouldn't want to be here with Holly Bear because I kind of joke she acts like a cat. She's happy with you 1 minute and then upset with you the next. Tasha Bear, with her fun love itself, would probably try to play with me, but I'm not quite as tough as a bear. So I wouldn't really want to try wrestling with Tasha because she definitely would beat me. Another question is, would I recommend this experience to others? Definitely. So I've learned tons here. I'm really proud that I can answer so many questions about black bears that I couldn't have answered just a couple months ago. Ely is such a beautiful area in Minnesota. I'm really fortunate to be able to spend my summer up here with all kinds of hiking trails and wildlife, and it's really beautiful. Not to mention, I've gotten to know these really amazing bears. So I feel like I kind of know them personally now after watching them so much. I know kind of their little quirks, like Lucky is our big pouter. If he ever gets mad, he likes to pout for even more than a day. Tasha's kind of the silly one. Holly, don't mess with Holly, but secretly she is a sweetheart. She doesn't want anyone to know it. Ted actually is just a big sweetheart, and he wants everyone to know it. And it's just kind of fun that I get to see that, and I get to give Ted breakfast and hear him giving his friendly grunts in the morning and see Holly act happy to see me once when I have her favorite treats. Lucky Bear crack that egg that he's so fond of. So Lucky, even though he's a big guy, it takes him about 3 tries to crack that egg because he likes it cracked in a certain way. And he wants the egg to be perfectly intact when he receives it, so he can crack it himself with his mouth. He's very gentle with it and then licks out the inside. And that's something I never would have guessed with black bears, the fact that they can be so gentle. So it's just really amazing, and I would totally recommend anyone looking for an internship here in Minnesota, especially if you're interested in wildlife, to check this place out. How long does it take to prepare a meal for our bears? Not long. So they eat lots of vegetation. 90% of a black bear's diet does consist of vegetation. Only 10% is protein. And even a smaller amount of that protein is meat, so it's not like we have to prepare them any sort of meat meal. We have bags of fruit and vegetables in our fridges in our food shed. So I just go into that food shed and I grab a bag of grapes and pull off some grapes and put them in a bowl. We might open a can of tuna for Ted. That tuna is just to disguise the taste of his medication. So Ted does take some medicine for his arthritis. He will spit it out if we try to hide it in fruit, so we have to grind it up and mix it in with the tuna so he doesn't taste it. So I'll put that in there. We'll grab some vegetables, take a scoop of dog food, and then we record everything in a book so we know what we're feeding our bears. So if there's any question as to why one gained weight or lost weight, we can kind of look back and make sure that they had consistent feedings. So yeah, it does not take long to prepare a meal for a bear. Have I experienced a bluff charge from any of our bears? Not technically. I have had Holly tell me a couple times that she's upset. At one point, I was up on this observation deck with another intern who, for some reason, Holly doesn't care for. Or sorry, not another intern, another volunteer. For some reason Holly doesn't care for. There's no reason for her not to like this specific volunteer. But Holly just decided she doesn't like her, so she was walking towards us. And she wasn't really rushing us, but she was aggressively coming towards us, but we were way up high. So she actually stood back on her hind legs and was right below us looking at us, and she was huffing, and she even slapped the ground once and was very, very upset. We tried to head back inside so she wouldn't be so distressed. She tried to follow us and actually bumped into the electric fence, and that zapped her, and she took off like a rocket. I've never seen her move so fast. She let out a loud call, and that was pretty startling. Holly has definitely jumped up and slapped the fence at me if I'm giving her peanuts when she decided she wanted grapes. So I've seen Holly do that a couple times. Tasha has done it once or twice, so again, it is those girls that get a little more testy. I've seen Lucky do it to other bears. He's never done it to me, so I've seen a bluff charge, but it wasn't towards myself. That was Lucky at Tasha, who we know Lucky is not very fond of for whatever reason. Obviously, Ted has never really done anything like that. The worst things Ted ever has done is, like I said, when I bent over and he licked my forehead when I wasn't expecting it. It was kind of startling and very slimy. So it's not looking like Tasha's going to come out today. She's, like I said, been a little uncooperative lately because she is in estrus. She is in the back relaxing. Even if we do have food up here for her, she doesn't seem too interested. So with that, I think I am going to sign off. To all the people here at the Bear Center, thank you so much for visiting.